G'day traders, and welcome to our free stuff video. Glad you can join us. What we're going to show you today is something that we really watch in the market every single day. Now, what you're looking at the moment are support and resistance levels. These support and resistance are drawn from something that's called, on most of your charting programs, is also called the pivots. These are the pivot levels that we really want to keep an eye on during the trading day. Even during pre-market, they're very, very important to watch these levels. So basically what we have is a central pivot level, which is marked in the red line just here. And then above this level, we have resistance levels, and below the pivot, we have support levels. So you could extend these to 1, 2, 3, 4, and even higher. But we want to really focus on what's happening in the price action for that particular day. Now you're looking at a 16.25 point day here, so this happens to be Monday the 3rd of December. What I want to show you more so is how important these levels are and how they're respected during the trading day. More importantly, what we want to do and take advantage of, and how this can actually help us in trading. You could possibly use it as a trading system in its own, as a method on its own. For example, if you wanted to use a resistance level to short off and then possibly take profits off at that level, it's probably a very smart idea to do so. Like if it actually broke down, you can probably short it again and take profit down at these levels. But what we want to do mainly, and what we really want to focus on, if you can incorporate this in your current method, it's very, very important to draw these support and resistance lines. And why I say that is because if you've got an intention to say, okay, we're looking at the morning here and it's been shorting quite considerably, I might want to take the next short into this level. Problem is, if you expecting to short at this level here and you're not aware that the pivot level is right here, you may, more than likely, you will actually find there'll be some pressure here. There'll be some sort of hurdle that you need to really get across. And if the pivots aren't drawn up in your charts, you'll see the price bounce and bounce and bounce, and you're thinking, what's going on? The price has been shorting all morning. Why is it struggling at this particular level? Drawing the pivots will more than likely just make you aware of where this line is, and it may avoid you taking that short trade because you know you're going to suffer some kind of struggle at that level. Now, as soon as price has broken through, it's now created resistance because it's above us. This line is now above price. So again, if you're looking at buying into this level, you're going to face some issues. And that's why this has created a very, very strong force. It's created a hurdle of some sort that we need to get through. And as soon as it breaks through, it's shown a little bit of freedom, and again bounced, and then couldn't quite bounce through, and then broken through again. So that's why these levels become important throughout the trading day. I'm going to show you in a moment how we actually draw them up, but I just need to show you the importance of how critical the pivots are. Now, more importantly, how many people use these pivot lines? Well, if they showing significance in price reaction, wouldn't you want to know where these lines and these support and resistance are? And that's why I use it to help me in my current method. I don't trade the pivot on its own. I wouldn't particularly sell at this level and then buy back my position down here. It would make for a very good target also. So if you're looking at taking profits, probably help you in your trading method, which is advisable. You really want to know where the resistance and support levels are. But more importantly, we just want to know that they're there, because we know that there are a group of traders watching these levels every single day. So we just want to know that they're there. That's what we want. We want it to help us with producing lines and levels in the market where we want to know where they are. A lot of people don't actually know where the pivots are, and they may think, oh, it's just a fad. Not many people are watching them. Well, what I've actually found over the last 3 or 4 years of trading, these levels do create some significant support and resistance levels. So I just want to know where they are. Do I trade through them? Occasionally, if I've got a target, just say I've entered as a short through here and I've got a target down below, I know the pivot's there and I know I'm going to struggle through that level. Do I effectively take profit at the end? Well, you can, and it'll eventually work its way through, but I know that I may have to sit through the trade for 1 or 2 hours before it actually broke through. So that's the importance of it. Next, I just want to go through how we actually draw them up. But more importantly, there's a 16.25 point day there, and it shows how significant these levels have actually traded. Alright, so we'll get rid of that drawing, and we'll show you how we actually draw them up. So we'll have a look at the previous trading day. So what we're looking at here at the moment is Friday the 30th of November. So it happens to be over a weekend. That was the previous trading day. We need to know the high, the low, and the close of the day. So we'll come up over here, the support and resistance tab. On your charting program, it may be called the pivots. So just go over the pivots. So from the high to the low to the close. Now, this needs a little bit of practice. You need to try it out a few times just to get the hang of things. So it's pretty straightforward. So we need to do so. Just recognize the close of the day. The close of this day is 4:15 at 1550s, and extend it over as far as you can to the right. Alright, that's it. So you can already see here that the pre-market levels have treated these levels quite importantly as well. So there has been some very significant levels in the pre-market. Now drawing back over, and we'll bring it over again. We'll open it up. So basically that's how I've drawn it. The previous price action. That's what you really want to see. So does it use these levels every single day? Not every day, but we want to know where the levels are and create how important they are. I want to see if price is actually respecting these levels more so. That's all we really want to know. So there you go. That's the basics of the pivot levels. Now, how can you use them more? So just wrapping up, we want to use them to be aware where these levels are before we take a trade. So if you're looking at buying into this level, I want to know that you may be facing some kind of resistance if you're looking at buying. Can you still buy through this level? Of course you can. Although, just expect there to be some trouble when the pivot reaches this level. What's actually happening is there are traders that will be taking profits or taking new positions at these levels. Very common. You can see so through here. It hasn't come right to the tick, but you want to treat these levels as a range, not as a particular price level. So just bear that in mind as you're trading. But more so, importantly, we want to know where these levels are ahead of time so we can anticipate some kind of reaction with price at these levels. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can move on to the next free video that we've got in our series. Bye for now.